What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Peak Performance Engineering. I'm Brandon, and today we're working again on my 2022 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 4xe, and this is kind of going to be a continuation, if you will, of last week's video. So last week I put out a video, we'll put the link here, where I tried a pretty inexpensive 4-position bike rack off Amazon. I think it's from a company called Ikamura. Anyway, it was like a $90 bike rack that I wanted for my Jeep to be able to haul the family's bikes, and it turned out that there wasn't actually enough room for it to clear the spare tire on the Wrangler. So I was kind of distraught, and I thought that was going to be the end of it, but one of you guys in the comments had told me that, hey, you can just get a Hitch extension and make that thing work. So sure enough, I got on Amazon, looked around, I was able to find a 7-inch Hitch extension for like $24. So I'll put the link to that below. But I think we only needed about 3 inches to be able to clear the tire. So 7 inches should give us plenty of room. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that hitch mount setup, back out of the box, and let's go ahead and bolt it out and see if we can get this all to work. Let's go. All right, guys, so here is our Hitch extension, if you've never seen one before, because I had not until last week when one of you guys told me that these things even exist, which makes a whole lot of sense, but hey, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, so I appreciate you guys helping me out. So all we're gonna do is just get out our regular hitch here, install this one. It even comes with a new pin and everything, so it'll be pretty simple. And then once this is on, hopefully that's gonna give us enough extension here where we can go ahead and put in our 4-position bike rack. So let's see. All right, guys, so let's get you in here closer and show you what we've got. So with this unit, super simple install. I still have to go back and tighten all this stuff, but I just kind of wanted to show you what we've got. So it does come with this little tightener piece to be able to tighten this connection here, which is good if you don't have an extender. But what we're going to need to actually order on Amazon is probably one more of these, basically just this metal plate, and it comes with this here. But once this is tight, it'll kind of keep this from moving, where you can see right now, we're still gonna have quite a bit of movement and sway. So I will need to get another one, but once this is tight, probably just good enough for now to check it. The cool thing with this does actually have kind of a quick release right here, and then this whole piece will swing downward, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be able to still swing open the tailgate and have enough room. That's kind of the hope. And otherwise, it's just, you slide this bolt through here on the bottom, and these two here, tighten those up. And then it also has a quick release pin up here at the top. Same thing, so you can fold this portion down when you're not towing or hauling any bikes. That way this unit can just kind of, really stay on here, hopefully all summer, especially for me, since every weekend I'm gonna be moving bikes around. And then even during the week, I'll use this to transport my bike. So we'll see. I mean, right now I can see where there's a lot of movement, but I'm going to get that clamp tight, and then I'll probably have to order another one. But just for today's video, we'll get that tight, and we'll throw some bikes on here and see how it is. But you can see that 7-inch extension gave us more than enough room. You could probably get away with like a 5 or a 6-incher, but at least this keeps it, kind of nice and far away. So in case there is some movement, we don't have any contact with that wheel or anything like that. So far so good. So let's get this all tightened down, and then we'll try to throw some bikes on and see how it goes from there. All right, so I just got this all completely tightened up, and I mean, it went super quick, no issues. So you can see, like I was telling you guys, we still have mostly some movement here just because of the way this is engineered. So because this can pivot and swing, you just really have this kind of one bolt here that's kind of holding it in place. So you get some movement, you're gonna get some movement for that portion with the bikes. There's nothing you can do about that. But again, I think that part's fine. The only real big movement we still got is just coming from back here at our factory connection. So again, I'm gonna have to buy one of these. I think these are, I don't know, pretty inexpensive, $10 probably. So I'll find one of those. I'll put a link down below. But otherwise, we're gonna go ahead and give this a shot. It looks like, you know, it can't move back far enough to cause any contact with our wheel, so I'm not worried about that. You do get some sway, of course, this way without having that, so you know, we're not going to want to go too far. But let's go grab a kid's bike and throw it on there. And then also, I just want to point out that the kit does come with kind of all the tools you'll need. It gives you these little wrenches, but of course, if you have, you know, your own kind of impact and sockets, just makes it faster. They also give you an extra little piece of an extra kind of hold down there, so if you lose one of these while you're driving or something, you do have one extra, so that's kind of cool. Then they even gave you a bolt, like instead of like a hitch pin, they actually give you a big huge bolt, and also an Allen wrench, which there must be an Allen bolt somewhere. Oh, probably for these guys. So this might be something you want to take with you, just toss in the back of the Jeep, be able to take it with you. So let me see, you know, if it works and how easy it is. So literally just slide that pin out, and this guy should, okay, yep, and it stops. So there's like all right guys, so for this part of the video, my my microphone was going kind of crazy, so I'm just having to do a quick voiceover. So I was just trying here to see if the tailgate would swing open with this particular bike rack, and as you can see, it will not. So the problem is that that portion I'm touching right there, of course, is coming into contact with the back tire. I also did try to flip that part of the bracket around 180 degrees. And that did not fix it because it's not designed for it to swing that way. There's not like a cutout where that would work. So I think the only other way to make that part of it work is if you could get like a 7-inch drop receiver extension, you know, and then that would move it down enough to be able to clear, because all you need is like 1 inch or 2 inches. It was really close. All right, so I got this thing flipped around, but unfortunately it doesn't solve our issue. So we're still not going to be able to have the tailgate function with this particular unit, at least maybe not, you know, without having like a drop extension. I'm gonna have to research that. But anyway, so the reason why is if you look at this, the way it's designed, this is designed for it to hinge out on the bottom. So as of right now, you can see you only get about that much of play, you know, before it has the issue. Plus, this probably puts the bikes too far close to the ground. I didn't try it yet, but I imagine that's why. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this back around the right way, and then we can try to hang some bikes off of it. All right, let's see if we can at least get a bike on here. So I'm assuming I probably should have watched some YouTube videos on how this is supposed to work here, huh? So just, problem is this kid's top tube's so little. Ugh. This little one got to go like this, kind of. Help me understand here. What? I don't know, guys. Well, I tell you what, so far, it's kind of throwing me through a loop here on this one. All right, let's see if we can get the big girl on here. Okay. All right, so like I expected, or suspected, definitely works a lot better for, you know, an adult bike, a larger size bike like this. These things are not the easiest to be able to, you know, kind of get these on there, especially if you're kind of a smaller person, you know, not as strong of hands. That'd probably be kind of tough, but not bad. Now, my only concern with this style of bike rack now is, since it's only being supported here, right, the bike is just kind of hanging and swaying, so I don't think it can do too much damage. But you know, you've got handlebars swinging around, you got stuff like that. So this is probably not the best if you were going to go on a really long trip. Luckily where I live here, most of my trails are no more than about 10-minute drive, maybe 12-minute drive each way. So it's not very far, you know, pretty close, but so I think it's okay. But yeah, basically something like that. Pop hers back on. Now hers was kind of the problem child just because of the way, how small her bike is. Kind of had to stick it, yeah, something like that. Okay. Yeah, so that works for hers. Kind of bring you in here. All right, so on mine, you know, it's just under the top tube, kind of vertically mounted, just like you would think it would be, no problem. But on her bike, because her top tube is so small, this area in between, this one's pointing up, and then this one had to kind of come, you know, and point over left here. But yeah, it seems to hold it in place. Like these are tightened down. My bike, I still need to get the little Allen wrench and tighten them. But I mean, like I said, you're gonna have movement and stuff. Cruising. But I think if it's short trip stuff, I think it's fine. Definitely still got plenty of room for at least the one more bike. Having all four in there is probably going to be tight, but definitely looks doable. So my only kind of bummer with this setup, I mean, this is a pretty inexpensive setup, right? Because we're talking that we've only spent about $90 for the actual 4-bike rack, and then another, I think, $24 or so for the hitch extension. So 115 bucks or something, you know, all in, maybe 120 with tax, depending where you live. But still pretty inexpensive. Now, there are a couple other options like the Allen Sports one, I think that I posted in my last video. I think that's like 250, 275 bucks. That one kind of already has an extension built into it that clears. It's made for vehicles with a spare tire like a Jeep. And I think that one should also be able to allow you to swing your tailgate. So if you're interested in spending the extra money, that might be the way to go. But for me, you know, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of just thinking that I just toss this thing on whenever I'm going biking, and then I pop it back out whenever I'm not, and you know, save the 150 bucks or whatever it is. Right, so the other thing we got to think about when we have our bike rack installed now is when we go into reverse. Of course, on our backup camera, this is all you're going to see. So I was doing some practice runs, you know, going in reverse and stuff just here in my driveway, and it doesn't seem like the backup sensors are affected or anything. You know, there was no emergency braking or anything weird, so that seems good. But we just kind of drive around. Just kind of make sure nothing weird happens. But so I'm just literally in my backyard, which is, you know, grass. Shut the gas motor off here. So hopefully you can just kind of see. If it wasn't a little bit warmer, I'd have the top off. So, you know, I can see them back there. They're moving around. A lot of that movement is because I don't have that extra clamp like I was telling you guys. So we do need to get that. Oh, you might get a chance to see some deer. There's some deer right there. Shooting across the yard at dusk. Anyway, back on task. So, yeah, I don't know. Seems all right. Tomorrow I'll probably actually get out, take the kids out on the trails and stuff with this thing. But so far, just driving around the yard and stuff, doing some backup, seems fine. Again, for the money, for, you know, $100 or whatever, at least it's transporting my bike, right? So it's better than not riding, that's for sure. What do you guys think? So we finally got our Ikumura bike rack to work, and all it took was a $25 7-inch extension. If you're thinking about getting a 4-bike rack for your Jeep JL, or this should even be the same for a JK, really any Jeep, honestly, as long as you got a 2-inch hitch receiver, this should work for you. So give it a shot, get out there, get some exercise, get some biking, enjoy the outdoors. That's what our Jeeps are for. Thanks for watching. Click, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.